What's going on, everybody? It's Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks. So, follow up on that video last night. This is where it all happened. Gonna take you down in here. Pretty busy place today. Everybody's doing some hiking. And yes, have a good time. Be safe. Have fun. I probably should lock my door too, I guess. Lock my door. Alright, so in any event, I've been down in here for a couple hours now and investigated the area, and I have found some pretty interesting stuff. I haven't found any impressions, but I know what I heard last night, and that was a very loud, either a tree snapped or it was a tree knock, one or the other. So let me take you through it. All right. There's my truck right there. And that's where I was parked. And so now you can see from my truck to the other side of the parking lot, it's about 40 feet. And then you're going to traverse down into the woods down here. So let me take you down in here. You're going to see a lot of, trees that have been like pushed over, bent over, and a lot of ground debris and such. After checking it out for a while, it's obvious that when they get a really severe thunderstorm, microburst of powerful amounts of rain, what is that? The water comes rushing out of just on the other side of the trail, and it comes flying through here, and it must have been really bad at one time. And then over into here is like this little hidden, I don't want to call it a mud hole, and I can't call it a pond, but in them thickets in there, there is a, like a little marsh, so on and so forth. So, all right, let me take you over here and show you what's going on. Obviously, what I was looking for is track. I'm looking for what made that noise. And right up tight. Now, mind you, I had my window was only open about 1.5 to 2 inches. The truck was running, and I had my digital recorder up to my mouth, and I'm speaking and talking about an occurrence from last year. With all of that, I mean, when I tell you I heard that, it was a crack, and I don't know what it was. There was absolutely no wind blowing whatsoever. There was no storm, no nothing. I remember looking at the stars. There's no light from towns. There's no ambient light from townships up in the mountains up here. So the stars were beautiful. You could see the Milky Way galaxy out there. At least that's what I've always been taught it was. Looks like a long cloud out in outer space. But, all right, let's get down in here. Now you can see that all of this in through here is very, very, very dense. And I'm gonna look back at the cars. Okay, I would guess that snap came from about where I'm at here. That's just my guess. I mean, I know what a gunshot sounds like, and trees snapping and such. It would seem as if I couldn't hear that through the window with that truck running if it was much further away, but I don't know that for sure. So obviously what I'm going to show you back out behind this marsh out behind here, what I'm going to show you, I was thinking maybe it was people from this parking lot, but just pay attention to that aspect. Obviously, people park here, they've come a long ways to go hiking, they got to go to the bathroom, they travel on over here into the bushes and do their business, and then they take off and go hiking. So activity on the ground and stuff out into here, hey, you know, it is what it is. There's people all over and around here. Now what I want you to pay attention to is the leaf litter on the ground, how uniform and evenly neat last year's fall foliage bedded on the ground. And if you just continue to keep looking at it, you can tell that it is even. There's leaves all over. This area is all very much the same. A mix of a few spruce and hemlock, not many, mostly hardwood, beech, maple, ash, etc. Birch, nice white birch up here. And this is the start of where it would start to get a little more interesting. So you see where the ground is kind of tore up right here, and right here. That's just one small spot right here, and then it goes right back to regular leaf litter. Regular leaf litter all in around through this area. All right, enough with the leaf litter. Let's move on. Now, I'm not making no claims that Sasquatch did this. But just pay attention to what I show you, and you can make your own assumption. All right? Obviously, here's the other, before I go over any further, I'll take you over here and show you this little swampy area here, which is kind of cool and a nice little place to hide if need be, right? This is why I came and checked out all the way around the perimeter of this, because, listen, some of the first videos I ever did, mind you, this is Research Area 1, and this is where it all started for me. This is where my quest for Sasquatch began. My very first video, my very first ventures, and then I got hung up in Research Area 2, and I've spent a lot of time up there. I'm back into Research Area 1 with purpose. It's going to take some time, baby steps for sure. But let's say there was a family of Sasquatch in this area and they've been here for 15, 20 years, older, younger, having a family. I know that if I was up here and this was my home and I was in the woods and I didn't want to be around or be seen by humans, well, I would understand very clearly that everybody travels up the road, goes up here to the parking lot, parks, goes over, signs into that box, and walks up the trail. They go up to the summit, or they go over to the pond. There's a couple trails down off the mountain. They take one of the two. It's like just a big U, and up to the top and back. They never go over the backside. They never travel around anywhere off trail, ever. And it's treacherous on the side of this mountain. I'll show you soon. So it would be very easy for Sasquatch to pattern that piece of cake. And this area right here, to me, would be the perfect little escape pod. There's, even if the folks got out of there and if they got caught on the front end or caught off to the side, they could easily come right over here and evade humans, no problem. It's very thick. I mean, if they had to, they would come right into here and lay right down in the water, turn around on their back with their lips just above water, and you'd never even know that it was laying right in there. So, pretty cool little area, but I don't see no tracks around it. This area is thriving with life, birds and animals of all sorts. And now we're gonna take you up in I don't know if you can hear that, but there for a second I was thinking I just heard a wicked tree knock, but that's somebody back over at their car getting ready to go up the mountain. Wow. All right. So I ended up walking down the trail, and then I cut around and came into this area from behind. Yeah, I came in over, way down over into there, and then came back towards the parking lot, and I was going back and forth and spent about 2.5 hours checking this all out. There's all sorts of sign like this. Okay. See that? That is something with a wide foot that stepped on that. There's other trees back over here where, say for instance, that log, well, if there's a tree growing out of the ground here and some smaller saplings growing out here, the dead tree is intact as is, but in between the two it's mashed right to the ground, again showing travel. Something's traveling through there. And I thought to myself, well, maybe some people have to walk a little bit further to feel safer to go to the bathroom. And that is a factor. Maybe that is the case. All right. So, did I walk by? You have your average little oddities over here. Okay, we're starting to come into it. All right. Like, one of which would be these trees right here. So you have this tree right here is just leaning up into that spruce, but then you have this other tiny little tree branch that's just sitting on the ground, and it's just touching that, and another one underneath of it going up to that. And I mean, that can happen, completely natural. These branches are falling out of the trees all the time, there's no doubt about it. But if you just write everything off as, well, that's natural, well, then you're not being honest with yourself when you say you're exploring every avenue. So you can see that this isn't growing out of the ground. It goes up and it's just setting on this branch. And then this tree is leaning up in to that, and I noticed that the butt end of it is obviously on the ground, which makes sense because when it falls, the heavy end would fall. And then there is this guy right here. Okay, so that is in the ground. All right, here you go. This is how you do this. All right, so I'll tell you what I think happens here. All right, so that tree growing out of the ground up, this branch right here falls out of the tree, snaps the top of it off. There's the top of the one that's growing out of the ground down there. End of story. Move on. Okay. Well, you should have a little wishbone, you know. Now, that just probably fell out of a tree and landed there like that. But if you're in an area where you are in a hot spot and you have Sasquatch in the area, it's not that Sasquatch couldn't leave something like that purposely. Okay? All right. All right. So, to me, over here, seems to be some sort of a playground for something. And let me show you why. Now, where before, right behind me, if you look at the ground, you notice that all the leaf litter is all just evenly dispersed all over the ground. And I will tell you, you just have to take my word for it. That is the case all the way around the outskirts of this more open hardwood area. Okay, this little perimeter, which is about the size of a good 2-story home, is trampled. The ground is beat to death. The leaves are ground into the ground and bunched up into tiny little areas all over the place. This video is going to be too long, so let me speed up. These are the things I found in backwards order. Right here we have a 6-foot hardwood stick that's drove in the ground. I haven't touched it. My good camera, I've filmed all of this stuff already. I don't know which one I'll show you guys. I really want to get away from using this iPhone and use my good camera so that if for chance I'm zoomed in on something, I think the good camera, when you want to do post-production, you want to zoom in using your software, it's not so pixelated. Alright, so again, you can just see all around here where the ground is just beat up, and there's all sorts of like impressions on the ground. There's nothing that has toes, nothing that seems to form a foot or anything like that I've seen, but you can just tell that all this area is just beat. And there's hardwoods all over around in here. Look at the tree canopy around me. It's no different than anywhere else. I mean, there should be tons of leaf litter in this area just as there is everywhere else. Alright, now let's get into the rest of this. Alright. In a line, what I have is 1, 2, 3 tree breaks. And I don't know why they're broke. I just know that they're broke. Alright, here's one. Alright, right there, snapped off. And then this tree right here is sitting in the crotch of the same tree that is broken. And it's a pretty long dead tree. Most likely died, fell over. Hit that tree, possibly snapped it, and there you have the tree broke over. Doesn't make quite enough sense to me though, looking at it. It's a long shot because I can see that that tree break up there where it snapped off was a good healthy tree. See how it's like a porcupine quills coming out both ends? That's because it didn't snap right off dead. It still had good fiber, good strength to the tree, so it took quite a bit to snap it. And then if you look, you'll see that the tree that snapped, see this tree right here? It's on that side. And then the tree that we're thinking possibly could have snapped that tree is right here, and it's on this side of the tree. So if that tree right there was standing over there and then it fell down and hit this tree and the tree snapped and bent that way, why didn't that tree land on this side? How did it come down, snap the tree, and head over there? It can be done, you're right, but I guess that's why I'm looking at it. What if Sasquatch are even getting so smart to where they know that people are starting to observe their tree breaks, and they're starting to think to themselves, well, I need to make this look like it was broken naturally, even though the Sasquatch know possibly that, they did do it. But either way, so I take you over here, and I come upon this. There are 13 rocks setting on top of this one main rock. So I have my digital recorder going. Out in front of me, about 55, 60 yards, I just heard a lot of something just took off out there. And I never brought my good camera. I do have my thermal. Hold on a minute. Very likely could have been a deer. But I'm talking away. If you hear that drumming, that's a partridge. Alright. I don't see anything right off the bat. Whatever it was, snapped some good healthy sticks, and I heard it hit the ground a couple times. Jumping eyes, probably a deer, but I'm gonna have to do 2 videos because this thing's already 21 minutes long. Alright. So here's these rocks here. Came across this. I've already counted them up. There's 13 of them. All sitting on this pile. Sitting on this main rock. This one's rather large, and there's one underneath this one to stop it from sliding down. Maybe. See how they're on a slope? Just get a picture of that. Again, I apologize for this video being so long, but there's a lot here to talk about. Alright, and we'll, now I'm going to turn right around in a straight line, the same line that those tree breaks are following, which would point right straight out to where whatever it was just took off out through the woods over there. Wouldn't that be absolutely phenomenal if that was a Sasquatch out there watching me all this time? And then because I'm working my way out this way, he took off. I'll never know. But I mean, wouldn't that be something? We do have the thermal. Alright. This was the very first thing that I had seen. Mind you, I was coming from over there, coming back this way. I come across this boulder over here that's, time and a half of a basketball. And it's just sitting on that rock. Just that alone I saw, and I was like, well, isn't that something? I mean, what are the chances of that landing on that rock? So I'm going to walk around it, and I am peeping. See a red squirrel. I'm going to run this thermal one more time. So we'll zoom in for you guys on something. Looking through here. So I have my thermal set on black hot. I don't see anything. And I should have hit record also when I did that, because if I did see something. I would have not captured it. That was a bad move. Alright, so another thing I wanted to show you is, isn't it? I mean, I guess you just got to use your imagination. Okay, but look. Mouth area, eye area, the jaw, the jowl, chin, up, little bumpy nose there. See the eye, head, conical head. Isn't that something? I thought that was so cool. And it looks like a Sasquatch head if you use your imagination. And there it sits. Alright, so you can see that this rock sitting on top of this, right over there, are those rocks that I just showed you. Okay. Right over there is that tree going up in the air where the tree is snapped off behind those birches. Okay? And then pretty much just right over into there is where that 5-6 foot long stick is drove in the ground. Here, walk past the other tree break. Here's this other snapped off tree. Okay, snapped off. That is, I don't have my pack with me. I just came over with the stabilizer and the phone to run this video, and then I'm going to be heading into another area. It's that partridge again. So with this one right here, all right, we do have a huge poplar had come down at one point. It definitely could be the culprit of why that tree is snapped off. But again, you know, I'll step back and let you take a look, but there's also, you could argue, let me get over here a little bit. I have decided that it's an absolute must. Oh, that I get the other stabilizer for my good camera, or get an even better camera with a stabilizer. Just one more time with that thermal up there, I see. Oh shit, if this is on white hot, let me hit record. Okay, I don't know. That might be the sky. Yeah, that's the sky. Alright, hold on. Never mind. Okay. Alright, so let me step back over here and show you that. Alright, there's your snapped off tree right there. And here's your very large poplar that broke way over there, is where the stump is. It's over in there ways. This is a rather large poplar tree that had snapped off. Okay, so again, now maybe it was a branch that caught this right here, but look at the size of this poplar right here. I mean, that's a stout tree, wouldn't you say? 80-90 feet tall, 24 inches wide. Here's your dead poplar right here that snapped off here and had fallen right here. Boom. Wouldn't this tree had impeded this tree from snapping that on that side of it? it could have been a branch, right? It could have been a branch. But, you know, that's all we have for that. Could have been, should have been, might have been. You know, I could go on forever over here, folks. But all in all, last night, I know that I heard one heck of a snapping crack outside of... Oh, there goes all my stuff, my recorder. Good Lord. Outside of my truck window with my truck running last night. And I got out of the truck. Hold on a second. Let's put this on. I'll figure that out later. I don't know. This GoPro, I don't know if it broke it or what is going on, but it's not working out very well for me. Moment. Okay. Sorry about that. So, once I heard that snap, I got out of the truck. I used my thermal, scanned the area for a little bit. I was ready to leave. It was like, I don't know, 10:47 or 11:47 or something. It was late. And I was like an hour and a half drive home. I slept for 3 hours, got up at 5 o'clock, and raced back up here. And I was up here by 6:45, 7 o'clock this morning. Which you can see, like, right here. Look at, you know, that's walked on. I mean, look at that right there. Okay? That is impressed in the ground right there. For crying out loud. Jeepers creepers, look at that. I mean, you could argue like deer track this way, but look at, I mean, look at that. This is all soil that's been pushed up right here. That sun's beating right on it. That's nice. Look at this, right? And who knows if that's deer tracks? I mean, here's like a toe impression here. There's something pressed here. I mean, if a Bigfoot stepped there and his foot was one of them big wide toed things, I mean, I could make a case, you know, if a Sasquatch really stepped right there and I watched him walk right through, and I walked over and said, well, yeah, look at it. Right there it is. Well, maybe it is. I didn't see him. All right, well. Okay, folks. So, all right. So I've done a 33-minute video on this situation. We're going to wrap it up. Not going to repeat myself again. What I'm going to do before I shut this off is I'm just going to go to each one of these items and head back over to the truck. And I don't know if you'll ever see this video, because these 33, 35-minute videos can get pretty boring if you're not the one that discovered all this stuff. You guys want to see a picture of Sasquatch running through the woods. There are some of you that are into the research, that are checking out and listening and learning about tracking and prints and breaks, and then other researchers are learning from other researchers on concepts that they have, troubleshoot it, what makes sense, call it what you will, but we're all shooting for the same thing, huh? All right. So, now what's really interesting is you hear that blue jay down there carrying on. They don't do that unless something's in the area giving them trouble. Now the dirt road that you come in on is down that way. whatever it was that I just jumped out of here was definitely the size of a deer or a bear. It was no dog or no tiny little thing. It didn't skip along, or it sounded exactly like I jumped a deer. And that's probably what it was. But them blue jays down there carrying on down there like that, they don't do that just for the fun of it. Now it's moved on down into that way. But all right, you guys, 35 minutes. Here we go. I had came up through, and we have the rock as a pick. How'd that rock get on there like that? Has it been there since the glaciers? Maybe it has. Well, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, but I've seen 1, 2 rocks on a rock. But tell me that doesn't look just a little bit organized. Okay? Right? 13 rocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Come on, gotta be one more. I'm a dodo. Oh, yeah. This ain't part of that rock. There it is. Number 13 is right here. Okay? 13 of them. Right? Just a little side note. Little stick leaning against the tree right there. I thought that maybe it was a walking stick when I came over here, because the whole time I'm looking at this area, I'm thinking to myself, did somebody camp at the parking lot and a bunch of kids come over here to play and spent the weekend over here and beat this place to death? Or did a flock of turkeys come in here scarfing up some food or whatever? There is oak in the area, but not over here. I was looking for acorns, and I don't see any beech nuts on the ground yet, although I do have a little bit of beech over here. And I also realized that these beech trees up here in Research Area 1 have got that disease. It looks like the ash trees are doing very well, but the beech have got it. It's so sad. They're going to get beached up. It's horrible. Alright, so other than them tree snaps that I already showed you, I'm not going to show you again. I'm going to come over here. As I was working my way towards the parking lot, which is over in there on the right side of this marsh, I looked at this here. Now, I have not got within 4 or 5 foot of this yet. I took a bunch of pictures of the ground. I've looked it over really well. I'm not really sure what to make out of this. Yes, a tree branch could have fell from the trees above, and it by chance could have harpooned into the ground. You are right. Maybe that is what happened. But I wouldn't have done this video if I didn't find 3 tree snaps in a straight line with 2 sets of rocks sitting on top of other rocks that are in the same straight line. And then this stick drove in the ground. And look at the ground here. I mean, look at it. You can't tell what's walking there, but there's been something walking all over here. There should be leaves all over this. It's beat to death through here. Okay. Let's get another picture of this. And that's all I have to do. Alright. Now we're coming on to 40. Alright, we're going to call it that. This is Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks. We're in Research Area 1. And we've investigated the living piss out of this spot. Pardon my language. Thank you for joining. We're going to keep on going. Have a great day. I'm telling you, there's something over there in the woods. Of course, I don't have my other camera. All right, guys. I see something moving up there. I don't know if it's a bird. Hold on. And where I saw something move up there, okay, I have not moved. When I was looking up in there, I saw something moving and flickering. I looked down at my phone to take my fingers to zoom in, and then I look back up and it's a bright sunspot. There was something in that sunspot. All right, hold on. No, it's getting filled back up again. Is that a tree branch filling that up? Golly, where can I show you the point here? All right, you see these lit up leaves, and then you have two 6-inch trees. One's light, the other's dark. Right in between those, right over that lit tree. That's what is up there moving around. All right, guys, well, whatever. It's 42 minute long video. I gotta shut this off. Thank you for watching. I will try to shorten this up. Have a nice day.